What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So, recently I've seen all those videos where someone will walk along in the park and they'll talk to the camera and you get a nice background scenery and shit. Well, I figured, I'll try that for my channel since I'm now back home with my family in the mountains. Except for the fact I'm fucking in the mountains. Bro, do you know how hard it is to climb up a fucking hill and talk? It's fucking hard. I'm gonna sit my fat ass down. Okay, so we're just gonna use this log and we're gonna start talking languages, because that's what we do on this channel, right? Okay, let me just set this up so it doesn't roll down the hill. In fact, I may end up rolling down the hill. If I just suddenly backwards and roll, you know why. Fuck, I almost did it then. You know why. Anyway, I'm back home with my family. I come here once a year. My family are down there somewhere in the bush, okay? They're fucking basically swamp monsters. And I spend, 3 weeks a year with my blood family. Not my adopted Chinese communist family, but with my, original Australian True Blue family. And obviously during that time, my routines get shaked up. I'm not going to do the same type of stuff that I do while I'm in Sydney. Same type of stuff being, dedicate a lot of time every single day to learning languages. Down here, it's going to be more me do the bare minimum in order to keep progressing, because I am here to spend time with my family. That's what's important at this moment. And this got me thinking, okay, because it makes me think, okay, how do I explain this? I've done a lot of videos where I take down bullshitter gods. And I say often it's because I don't like people claiming, basically claiming honor for things that they haven't done. You don't claim the honor for the kill that you haven't made. I don't like that. But there's a second part to it, okay? It creates a unrealistic expectation about what is possible when it comes to language learning. And if you've spent enough time actually seriously learning languages, which I have, okay? I'm not saying I'm the greatest or anything, but I've spent a lot of years of my life learning languages for no reason other than I fucking enjoy it. You come to the realization that, you're going to, in your life, realistically get good at a handful of languages. And that's only if you spend a large amount of time doing it. The idea that, average Joe blogs such as myself out here is going to be going out and learning, 10, 15 languages during his life to a good level is just fucking batshit insane. Because when I'm in Sydney, I'll spend 2 to 3 hours a day on Spanish, maybe an hour a day on fucking Chinese. You just count those numbers, okay? Let's say that's 4 hours, and maybe I'll do, on some days, some maintenance of Esperanto. I'm looking at 4 hours a day, okay? Now, it's manageable for me. I have the time. It's time I would be spending, normally watching TV or whatnot. But that's for 2 languages, okay? So I guess what I'm trying to get at here, and what I'm trying to stress a lot with the types of stuff I do on this channel, is that you need to pick your battles. I know we all want to go out there and learn fucking every language that exists, okay? I often get myself, and I rope myself into this, next I'm going to be learning this language, and then next I'm going to be learning that language. But at the same time, I have to be realistic about the fact that, no, I won't. In my life, there's a limited amount of time for me to learn languages. Now, maybe if I become a language YouTuber, okay, this becomes my job, I can spend more time per day. Let's say, I don't know, fucking 8 hours a day learning languages, okay. It would create an unrealistic expectation for most of you guys what's achievable, but at the same time, I would make sure you know that. But would I want to do that? Because, life is not just learning fucking languages. I love doing it. But, there's other things I want to do in life, and every single additional language you add on top, you're basically taking several hours of your life away and dedicating it to that hobby for the next 5 years minimum, okay? And I say 5 years minimum because that's the point at which you're probably going to get to a good enough level where you can put it down for weeks at a time and not lose it too much. Because, for example, my Esperanto recently peaked during my C1 exam. So up until that point, I was practicing it every day. I was talking with people. I was studying shit, doing all that good stuff. Then I had my exam, and then after that point, it went back on maintenance mode. And guess what happens? It slowly starts deteriorating. I start losing a little bit here, mainly those obscure words and stuff. I start to lose some of the sharpness that I had, all that good stuff. Because language is one of those things, if you don't use it, you start losing it. Now, if you've been using it for a long time, you're not going to lose it all at once. It's going to take probably years and years and years to lose it all, but you do start losing it. And you need to factor this into the equation of how many languages you want to learn and to what level. So if your goal is just to, learn fucking 20 languages, because I see these comments every now and then. People say, I want to learn, 6, 10 languages during my life. That's my life goal. And my first thought is, okay, I understand that. But straight away I start thinking, then you're not going to have a life. That is your life. If that's all you're going to do, Now, if it's to get to a stage where you can just say, you know, how are you? Where's the toilet? I think you're attractive. Would you want to sleep with me? Then yeah, sure. You could probably do that quite, you know, manageably. It wouldn't be too hard because that's simple shit. But if you actually want to get good at the language and actually use it for anything beyond that most basic of shit, like, you know, like enjoy the literature, watch the movies of that language, you know, have deep conversations with people of that culture, then I think for the average person, realistically, you're not going to have more than a handful of languages during your entire life. Excepting if you make it your life. Now, I love languages, but there is other shit I want to do in this world, so I can't make it my life. And that's why I get annoyed with these bullshitaglots. I believe this is one of the reasons I also get annoyed with them. There's many, but that's one of them. Because they set unrealistic expectations about what is possible for the average person, not in just how to learn a language, but into what you can actually do. Okay? That, like, the idea of me learning 15 languages to a good enough level to actually utilize them, do you know how much time I would have to dedicate? Like, most of you probably would. You're just smart. You've done this before. But, like, for the average person who's just, like, stumbling in here and, you know, kind of lost around the corner, that is your entire life. That is all you do every day in order to make any progress, okay? Like, if you're learning, let's say, I don't know, 8 languages, 1 hour per day, that's still going to take you a very, very long time, decades, to get to a good level in all those languages, but that's all you've done. No work, probably no family, probably no one cares about you. Your cat probably fucking hates you because you speak to him in every goddamn language. Would you really want that? Is that what you actually want? So I guess the whole point of this rant is just to say, you know, we need to pick our battles and really choose those languages that we want to learn and accept the fact that there's going to be a bunch out there that we're just never going to get around to. Now, I may be able to, in the coming years, start learning a couple more if, you know, YouTube became a job or something, or when I retire, I guess. But I'm never going to, you know, be above 6 languages. Like, I cannot even fathom that ever happening. Like, how the hell would that even happen mathematically? Maybe mathematically it could happen, but how could that happen as well as enjoy my life, spend time with my family, my wife, you know, take my cat for fucking walks, work on my fitness, do other interests in life, you know, how could I do all that and then also learn 6 languages? Yeah, I can't see it happening. So the whole point of this rant is just to pick your languages and understand that you're probably, if you actually do achieve it, you'll probably only ever get good at 1 or 2 additional languages that are your non-native languages. And that's only if you spend a lot of fucking time at it. Okay? Hope that was a bit of a realism check for you all. I am going to roll my ass back down this hill and out of shot. I'm actually half tempted to do this now, but at the same time, this is a really steep hill. Can I do this? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video.